Iraq, the nicest guys in the world, and I fought to get to Iraq, which sounds kind of funny, but I tell dirty jokes, and I tell very dirty jokes, but I couldn't be a nicer guy, I couldn't be a better American, and I couldn't get to Iraq because I have a dirty act. I'm like, what planet are you people from? These guys and girls are over there getting their arms blown off. And you're telling me they can't hear about somebody's cock? You know, I mean, come on, what planet are you on? Well, what are we going to, you know, we're going to be a bad influence on them before they go up and blow up a village? I mean, what? So finally, there's this guy named D.B. Sweeney that's on this TV show called The Event. He's a good friend of another friend, and my friend that won all the Oscars. And I said, D.B., who do you know? And he said, oh, well, I know Gary Sinise. Gary Sinise was Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump. Oh, Lieutenant Dan, he got no legs, you know. Gary Sinise contacted this woman in Nashville. This makes a point. I mean, I had to go to trouble. And I got booked in Nashville at the Zanies Comedy Club. So she came and saw me. She said, oh, she said, the guys will love you. I said, I've been saying that for 10 years, please. So she sent me. It was so funny because I met these guys in Washington, D.C. They were all together. And I came over and I told them a couple of jokes. And they were like, wow, dude, sit down. I said, no. I said, you know, we got a 12-hour plane ride. After half an hour, you're going to want to throw me out of the goddamn plane. So I just told them a few. And we went over and spent, I think it was 9 days in Iraq. We did like 13 shows in 9 days. And I can't tell you, like you know, of course, war, you know, I came through the 60s. I mean, you know, the people who send us to war should be shot, which sounds kind of stupid. But you wouldn't believe the spirit of the troops, the guys and the girls over there. I was wondering if there's going to be attitudes. They're kids. They're 18, 19, 20. They're kids. And we would do shows. We did shows at Camp Liberty and Camp Victory, which are big, huge bases like Bob Hope used to play. But we also got in the helicopter and went down the river. And me and Bo went, just the two of us, you know, with bulletproof vests on, with guys with, you know, machine guns. They didn't fire them, but, you know, went to the outpost in the middle of nowhere. And these kids were so glad to see us. And it was just, I can't tell you, it was heartwarming. And if we did a show for 800 people, I'd do, you know, 40 minutes of jokes, and they'd go nuts. And then Bo and those guys would play for an hour, and then it seemed like all of Iraq was singing Sweet Home Alabama. It was just so, it was enchanting. But when we got done, if there was 800 people in the crowd, there'd be 800 people in line for autographs and to take pictures. We'd be there for 4 or 5 hours because we talked to everybody, signed autographs, because they were so thrilled and so happy that it was one of the greatest things I ever did. And I just want to tell all of them, you don't know what I went through to get here. You know, you'd think they're going, come on, who wants to go? Somebody go entertain the troops. Come on, you know. Meanwhile, I had to go fight tooth and nail, but it's, you know, it was spectacular. I mean, I still think, you know, the whole thing is a horror, and the fact that we're doing it, but the hell with politics. The kids that are over there fighting had nothing to do with it. You know, they said, you're going, and they went. They didn't have a fucking choice, you know what I mean? So they're doing what they had to do, so I was there doing what I had to do, and it was just the greatest thing I ever did. I still get emails from a real lot of them, right back and forth. And one of the things I'm involved with charity-wise is called the Wounded Warriors. And if you ever have a chance to get involved and you have time and you would not believe what the government does. I mean, these kids go over there and fight, and even the ones that don't get hurt come back crazed. Like they wake up in the middle of the night and choke their wives because they're trying to assimilate, and the government turns their back. These kids come back, and the government turns their back. There's no halfway house. There's no assimilating back. The suicide rate is unbelievable. So I'm working very hard to make people aware of that, because I didn't, you know, when I started hearing about that, because I don't know about you, I assume like, well, they're going to war and that sucks, but at least when they come back from war, the government takes care of them. Like, you know, like World War II, people came home, the GI Bill, and you got to go to college, and they'd help you buy a house. And so I just assume, oh, the government takes care of you. It sucks that you went to war, but at least you get taken care of. And they turn their backs on these guys. So, you know, I wound up with a little bit more of a vested interest after going and finding out more. You know, I'm old, I can't do much for long, but, you know, and the world's going to be blown up any minute anyway. But don't listen to me. Did I answer your question, Al?
Yeah.
What, are we going drinking?
I got one more.
Go ahead, go ahead.
It said that he was in the Friars Club also, like, who's the most famous person you ever roasted?
I myself haven't been on the dais I was on the dais for the Don King roast, but he's a murderous bastard, that guy. But I actually got quoted internationally because I had a great line about him. I said, because I don't know if you know, but he just ripped off Mike Tyson so bad, and I said, Don, it's nice to meet you. I know there's some people that are a little angry with you. I know Mike Tyson's a little upset with you. He told me last night when he was parking my car. That got quoted all over the world. But probably the most famous guy they roasted was Jerry Lewis, but I don't know how, he's not that popular. Quentin Tarantino got roasted last year. That was very interesting. And they roasted Matt Lauer, and Tom Cruise showed up. And that was cool. And Tom Cruise was funny. If somebody told me that, I would have never believed it. He came out and he was very self-effacing and very funny. And very often the people roasting are more famous than the people you're roasting, the people that are doing the roasting. But Trump, Donald Trump, and Jerry Lewis, and Bruce Willis. Who's famous? I mean, they've done almost everybody, they never roasted Tom Cruise, but the hell with Tom Cruise, and But it's interesting. The Friars Club is great fun. I'm actually doing a show this Tuesday, which is for the young friars. I'm a young friar. I'm 63. I'm a young friar.
Did you see the Donald Trump roast with the Situation was doing?
No. I didn't. I wasn't at that.
It was horrible.
It just drives me crazy that there's a guy not only named The Situation, but that the guy's probably worth $1 billion. That's the day. That's the day the world ended, when they put a camera on those assholes.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I'm over here going, put it on me, put it on me. But it's funny, I just got a call from a guy who writes for the Asbury Park Press, which is the Jersey Shore. And he said, Jackie, I'm doing a big article on the Jersey Shore, and the Jersey Shore, these idiots with the TV show. Do you have any anecdotes about when you worked there? And I've been working all over Jersey for like 30 years, 40, however long. And I told him that there was a guy, I don't know if this will be funny to you guys, but this just tickles me. I was working at a place called the Thunderbird, which sounds as low-life as it is, and it's still there in Seabright, New Jersey. And I showed up in the afternoon to drop off my stuff because I was doing stand-up there that night, and there was a guy on stage plugging in an electric drill. So I thought he's fixing the sound system, or, doing something to build the stage. I said, hey, how you doing, man? He said, how you doing? And then that night I showed up to do my act, and the middle act was that guy, and the electric drill was in his act. Now, I still don't have any idea what the hell he did with electric drill as part of a comedy act. And then he wound up being this guy, Chips Cooney, who opens up for Otto and George, and he's been on TV a million times. And he's just a very funny guy, but all I could think of, I got to write to him and say, Jesus, Don, what did you do with an electric drill? But the Jersey Shore is just a wacky fun. I still work down there in Point Pleasant Beach. But I've never met any of those characters. I'll tell you, I never watched TV, but I happened to turn on Letterman one night. I was going past, and that girl, Snooki, was on with Letterman, and it wasn't horrible. I mean, she's an idiot, but he was gentle with her, because he just gave her the rope to hang herself. I mean, she's a moron. Nothing against her. She's not a moron. She just doesn't belong on the David Letterman show. She says, and what'd you do last night? I don't know, I was drunk. What'd you do the night before that? I don't know, I was drunk that night too. I'm like, this is entertainment, So.